Greetings everyone, hello and welcome back once again to our Megacity series as we continue. Well, is this a Megacity already? Yeah, it's about to transition into one, I'd say, and we continue with, well, being annoying to Miss Hunt. She's been annoying quite a while now. She's got some gorgeous islands, by the way, so with the mod that we have, the military tension, yeah, you can see the improvement. The AI is completely plastering their islands full with cities. Not only the main city, but also their secondary cities. Even these cities close to us, right? These smaller islands there are plastered with engineers. So that is just really interesting. And every single one of them is looking, yeah, looking very advanced when it comes to their tiers, so the Miss Hunt Islands especially. What's also much advanced is their share prices. And what we can see here is we pay 5 million for share, but we do get almost 20,000 in share value out of this. Meaning if we take over all the shares here, we could get 100,000 in additional income. And look at that, the island takeover would be 184 million. Of course, that is far away, but there's a lot of money in here that we can make, right? So I'm gonna take over these shares. As long as we have a bit of influence available to us. It's not only for the main island that this is worth it. I think for the main island of Carl, look at that. Like, is this the main island? No, this is the main island. 8,000 only. He is really weak in comparison. How's Hugo looking? He's got no investors, that's the problem. He's very bad for investing. So Miss Hunt really is the only option that we have in this regard. That makes sense to me, right? We also get a new bonus out of that. Gives me another island-wide workforce. Workforce doesn't help me that much. We are still very negative on the farmer workforce in Sleepy Hollow. So in this case, we got this area here that I would still like to develop a bit with more farmers. Before we move on, right? Before we move to my next projects that we need. So let's just get me a few of them in here. Boy, I'm so used at this point to Pax Romana's automatic road building that it's hard to go back to drawing roads yourself, right? Because in Pax Romana, it's automatically placing the roads around the blocks. So there you go. We need them more. The problem will be though... No, actually, the problem is that we really just don't have enough houses. And some sickness here and there, but the needs are met already, so that's something. Let's get me my hospitals going. So in this case here, it's actually pretty hard. Could have one up there to make this work. And making something work is also what we need to do, and that's the... What do we have it? My... Steam carriages, right? They're negative now. The champagne is already negative. I can't do anything about this, unfortunately, as we are totally limited by the amount of champagne we can have. So that's just that. But the steam carriages we can push. And we have that production here, the cab assembly line with the coach makers, right? And we are boosting them already with the Susanna, the steam engineer. So this is also outputting once again some light bulbs for us. And on top of that, also the penny farthings, right? So this is really cool. And we get another 2 tons of steam carriages out of that. And we should have then the surplus rolling. There it is. And with that also, of course, some more light bulbs. Very good. Now, if we open our overall item menu with Control T, you can search for any item that is available in this game. And regarding my problem with the champagne, we can do something and we can get some items here like Miss Amelia's Essential Prohibition Measures. These needs require less goods, like 40% reduced consumption of champagne, if we have them close by in a town hall. So this would be an item, and you can also check out where you get this item from. So of course you get it from the Research Institute, you could get it from quests, or you could get it from a trader, Archibald Blagades. So Miss Amelia, that would be an item that I'm looking for. Another one is over here, Mr. Garrick. We already seen him a couple of times now. Eli, he's selling it. And with the bank need fulfilled, I also provided with the pocket watches and the jewelry. This could also be very valuable for us to reduce my gold consumption. And as it happens, this item is not even that rare. Took me only a couple of rerolls to get the Amelia here. The first one with that, we can reduce the champagne consumption of some of my investors. Of course, we need a couple of them. Now, as it happens, there they are, 3 of them already, and also a Moderation Act. I didn't have this on my radar. That's also the same version, just with 30% reduced consumption. So I'm definitely going to take this one. Next up is then Eli. Eli gave me Mr. Garrick right away. Thank you very much for this profitable trade. And let's get all of this back home. Well, we can start now thinking about the town hall locations of these. So of course we do have our major town hall over there, but as I said already at some point, it's not really the best town hall monument because, you know, it doesn't have the biggest radius, and also so in relation to its size, and also it's usually in a location where I do not have so many residences around that for aesthetic reasons. So we need to get the town hall going here, the other one that we have. Okay, I've done a mistake. I've miscalculated the radius that this one has. I mean, look at that. I was a bit confused by the construction itself, because when you build it, that's the radius you have, right? When you have the preview of it. But once it's finished, look at the radius it has now. It's much bigger. So of course, under these circumstances, a town hall makes a lot of sense, the town hall monument itself. So we actually need to move it. I'm so sorry about this one. There's gonna be another monument though instead, right? So this one here, we're just gonna move now to another location. And I reckon that if we look at it, this might be a very good location, right? We could also have it all the way down here in the middle of my whole investor district. And I think this makes the most sense. So, you know, it's not the biggest monument anyway. So I'm just gonna have this one somewhere else now. And we have the bank here already. So here we're gonna make a little change to all of this that hopefully makes everything better here. So let's just see, we can move them safely to another location, right? Nothing happens with them. There you go. These are the prime buildings, right? You don't want to delete them. It takes a lot of time to groom them, to build them up into something. And another thing we can get rid of here is the city cemetery. So we've placed this one like a dozen episodes ago, right? It's been here for quite some time now. There's lots of bodies already lying in it. But the thing is that my investors and my engineers, they don't need a cemetery, right? It's just for the lower tiers. So I'm gonna move this one here into my district where we have a lot of workers here and a lot of artisans, so they need that. And with that we can open up even more space, like this whole block here that I would like to move over into that area, right? So once again, we're not losing anything with doing this. Probably gonna move it a bit further up here to the north. There you go. And then I have another area available here. The variety theater is also something that you don't really need to have anymore in this area. So we're gonna move this one together with that block and together with the post office. This one's tricky though, the post office. Where can we have the variety theater? I'm probably pushing it here for now. Right, we have a lot of engineers here, but the engineers are further away. The investors don't need the theater anymore. Oh, I want to see this. It's this island here again. They are fighting the Arctic. It's really just a wasteland, but of course it's the Arctic, so it has some bonuses that you can use. All right, let's get the post office over there, and I would very much like to move this one down so that we should have the room here for the bank. Right. So we have the bank once again in this area, and this gives me a huge space here where we can now have our town hall. So let's just go ahead and take this one. And of course I want to have it so that not only do we have a nice radius for it, but so that we also have a nice, you know, plaza area for it. So I'm gonna move this one a bit further, and it has to look like this, so that we, that we have this area in front of it still available. Okay, this we might. There you go, like our Halloween decorations. And yeah, the cool thing is, wait a second, I moved it now. I want to copy it because for now, let's keep it here, right? And I mean, we could also have a second town hall here, right? You're not limited to just one on this island. Okay, and the cool thing is now the bank and the town hall are kind of like looking at each other. Do we have another skin for this? Oh yes, we have the better skin, of course. I want to use that skin. Gonna move these guys down there. Gonna get rid of this. And then we're just gonna have the bank here in the center. Right, so both of these majestic buildings are looking towards each other now. I think I like this. This is good looking. And we're just gonna have then here in the center a main area. We could make a nice fountain between the two of them. I think this would also work out great. So I would like to have the friend in need fountain monument. I don't think that I ever built this one. It's a special one. Community event item that was there. And it's a really cool one. Alright. Not a bad thing. I want to keep this one symmetrical. So we need to have 3 roads on either side. Right. And with that we have this area right in front of it. We will need to move the bank again 1 step. There you go. The bank is identical anyway. And then we have the town hall that we're also going to push 1 step down. So that it's really looking at each other. Right. These 2 buildings there. Beautiful. I like how this turned out. And look at that. We have now this massive radius for the town hall. Here we can still add something. And it's probably more residences that we moved from some other location over here at some point. There you go. Right. So that this is really in the center. And then we have this whole area available here as, yeah, an area that where we can add more thingies. By the way, yeah. She purchases back shares. We can, by the way, also purchase our next share now. So we still have this one. That's the... Oh, look at that. It dropped by 8,000. What happened? We lost a lot of value there. But that also means that the purchasing power goes down. So we don't need to pay that much anymore. I guess. But still, I wonder why she lost so much. There you go. It will go up again at some point too. And then we come out of that even richer. Alright, let's unload the items that we got, because we do have now a few of them. And let's get this going. And let's just check it out what the difference here will be now, right? So we do have the champagne rocking with a difference of 2 tons. Alright, and I'm gonna implement this one now. With the 40% reduction for all of them, right? Yeah, now it's equal. So this was a nice change. So 2 tons in essential we saved with that. Question is, can we stack it with this one? Even though I probably want to have something else here. There it is. It's probably going to be the Mr. Garrick guy. So the bonus income I don't care about, right? But everyone here with the bank provided also gets the provided with the pocket watches and the jewelry. This is much more powerful, right? As you can see, pocket watches are going up now. Reduces my consumption and the jewelry goes up. So this also greatly increases the happiness of my investors, and they will actually be positive now. And on top of that, we're getting a nice boost in income. So this is just a really powerful item overall. Now, that's not all of them though. We do have another area here with a lot of investors already. So I would like to make use of my other items that we had. So the next town hall. By the way, they can overlap, right, with the town hall mod, but I don't think the bonus stacks. So yeah, I'm gonna play this safe and move this a bit further away though, like here. So we do have a lot of investors now in this tiny area, where I can also get my Amelie in. This item is really not that rare, so we can probably plaster the whole thing full with it. And with that, yes, we have a surplus of champagne again. I'm super happy about this. It's just incredible how many goods you can actually fulfill just with passive items, right? Just with passive production or passive bonuses. To maximize its yield further, we can also of course upgrade and should upgrade as many buildings surrounding the town hall, so that we really profit from this bonus. So all of these investors here and all of these engineers, they do not need those goods now that we are pushing. Quite helpful. Next, we probably should go for it, and that is of course Enbesa. And here we are now. New region has been discovered. We do have our battle cruiser. It's coming out in the north. Look at that. I'm used to it always being in the west. All right, and as for the series, we're not gonna dive into the story here. We're gonna settle and get the conditions right to get these scholars over. For this, unfortunately, we need to do some quests. Now, at the very least, Taborime, it has not been settled yet, even though we already see Carl up there in the north. And yeah, we're getting this one here. The moment I click on it, though, it belongs to us. And we need to defend it. And last time I did this whole thing, this whole charade, we lost the island again right away. So my ship is here. Now we just need more ships, right? Or more weapons at least. Let's sell the stuff that we have on board. So this was just for our little expedition. Oh, come on. And Harlow. It's just when you're focusing on quests, they have this tiny demand coming in unexpectedly, right? And you're not paying, and then they're doing this. She doesn't even demand any money, and I don't think he will either. There you go. Now I'm gonna send a couple of weapons over there before we can actually start doing any serious business in Taborime. I continue with upgrading, especially my artisans. So 2 engineers over here and here. And here we do like a school, a proper coverage. So I'm just gonna have another school here, right? And we're gonna get rid of that again once we don't need it anymore with the engineers then. 1,300 workers. Might also give me now access to worker upgrades. Let's just go ahead with the artisans first though. And then here. Alright, back to Taborime. We can now claim this trading post. I'm surprised how many islands Hugo has. One here, kindness he's calling it. On these beautiful islands. I really love the color palette of Enbesa. We also do see, of course, already Miss Hunt with some smaller monitors. She definitely has a bunch more warships in the region. Let's claim it. And with that, we do have Taborime under our control. We also get some free wands at Timar. And can now start once again with a city here. Now, the main goal here will be to reach scholars as quickly as possible. And for this, we'll need to start up a smaller economy. Very important to start with is some wood production, as always. So that's my wands at timber. And it's just really one building, which is great for simplicity's sake. So planting me some 3 here is all that it really takes. And then we can also have our warehouse, our marketplace somewhere here. Want to have many of them as possible on the other side too. Alright, and then we can just get our blocks of houses going. This looks horrible. What have I done? Oh, we already need the goats. Well, let's go ahead with this. And the goatees, that would be also... Actually, wait a second. No, we don't need the milk already. We haven't even unlocked it yet. So, something to consider. Let's just take this block here of houses and plant them down here too. And then I might also have some more up here. Just to get the workforce going. There's the milk now that we have unlocked with that. And there's also my timber that I'm gonna need. It's that one. And once again, I'm gonna have it over here. It's really just a tiny production with 1 minute, right? And those farmers don't need that much milk. We can squeeze in a bunch of them here. Doesn't take that much space. And then I could copy this one to the other side like so. And probably another one here then somewhere. Okay. The milk is flowing. Want to push to tier 2 as fast as possible now. So the finery will be the next one. And then also the dried meat. Let's build me a few more. Should unlock us the next stages already. And especially get me in that workforce. Problem is that the tier 1 defenses that we have, the mounted guns and these flags here, they're really not good, right? So there's not going to be that much. We have anti-airborne weapons, okay? And then we have the mounted gun, and that's it. The mounted gun will not even damage a steel ship, right? So it's totally useless stuff that we have there. And I'm not going to load all of my weapons just yet. Also, we will need mud bricks.
Instead of dismantling the status quo, you
There's my finery. So this is the linseed. We have the linseed fertility in Taborime. And for this, unfortunately, I will need to start with my first bridge to get all the way over here to my first area here that we can then also start irrigation. This one. Most likely, I mean, you can have more of them. Oh, not here. That's something. Water pump. Right, and then we just have here a bunch of farms. This. And this one continues then also here. And they're producing every minute, so I can squeeze in 2 here, 2 here, another one here. Should get the things going. This will also require then the mill and of course also the embroidery already. And yeah, we can go ahead with 2 of them. That gives me 1 mill and access to 2 embroideries as well. And we can actually afford all of this. Very quaint. Okay, so there's that. That's the next demand already met. And then we just have the dried works now. And the dry house with that. So this needs then the Sanga farm. The salt works. For this we need then the ocean access. I'm gonna go with this area here once again. It's producing 2 tons per. So that's already 4 tons we have here now. And unfortunately the Sanga farms, that's the one that takes up the most. They also have huge, ridiculously huge fields. So let's just get this going hopefully somehow here. No, this is not possible. This will not work. I'm trying to stay on that side of the road. There you go. This works, right? So that we can copy them to the other side. Over here. Oh, come on. There you go. This one we move down. And with that, we would have everything ready for the dry houses. So 2 of them we can afford at least already. And the demand will be met for quite some time, right? Because dried meat is also one of those goods that is not consumed that much. Okay, let's go ahead and get me my next block going over here. We don't have timber. Boosted. I also think that good old... Oh, look at that. It's just a Corvette coming in already. The thing is, my battle cruiser won't work, right? So we need to get the white flag over there. So now it shoots. I don't know if that is so smart though. Stay. Musician's court. I'm gonna need actually 2 of them. So let's have the first one here. Because the range is not that massive. By the way, nice balance there. Almost 500,000 per minute coming in. Brings me back to my idea of purchasing shares. So this one here. Still only sitting around the 12,000. I'm still hoping that it will get to 20,000 again. And over 100,000 people. I think we've reached this a time ago though. In Sleepy Hollow, where we have some materials now so that we can push more. We should not, you know, sleep on that because it'll still require a lot. And can we... Oh, we cannot upgrade to skyscrapers. It's a coffee. Why is coffee lacking? Coffee production sits at 62 tons. Oh yeah, that sounds a bit, right? Production is at 66, but we consume 6 tons in Manolar, so we have an uneven coffee ratio again. I might try and counter this by importing me some coffee, since we have huge amounts of goods available. Tobias just traded, so look at that, we're almost full on horses again. I might actually use my horses to get me some additional coffee. And what's the ratio here? Oh, it's bad. So we're not gonna do that. So yeah, pushing a bunch more of my coffee plantations. We can have more here and they're boosted immediately. It's this one. Right next to it. And this warehouse we don't need when I just go ahead and upgrade this one. Oh no, this is Taborime, right? Already? Okay, it's down, but there's the next one coming in already. That is faster than I thought. I thought we had a bit more time. It's not over yet, so I'm just gonna push over here. Get my dried meat production up.
This is a legacy I would hand my people. A land of song.
What are they doing? You know, I just settled. Give me some more time. Hugo! Do we have an alliance with him? No, we don't. We would need to do the quest first. So he's not gonna help me out there.
There is a matter I would discuss with you pertaining to the Empire.
They're not taking over though. I don't think so. Oh, Hugo, I put such a high hope into you that you would help me out here, but he's just passing by. I don't think he's at war with Hunty there. So that's not gonna work out. Yeah, starting to retreat now. It's all good. We're not losing Taborime just yet, but it could happen soon. So let's go ahead and take... I have high hopes or high trust in my defenses here. So I'm just gonna push my full fleet now to Taborime. Well, it's not my full fleet, you know, it's part of my fleet because we have also a lot of ships in the New World. She's not gonna attack Sleepy Hollow though. I don't think so. So far so good, had some changes here, had some boosting there, and we continue then with, well, Enbesa main storyline up to the Scholars, built the Scholar District, and yeah, I know I've been promising it for a while now, but yeah, skyscrapers. At some point now, we just have to implement them. Stay tuned.